I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team here with the Tropical Update on this Monday afternoon. As of the 1 p.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center, Tropical Storm Francine now has 60-mile-per-hour winds, so it has strengthened pretty quickly over the past few hours. Pressure is now at 996 millibars and is expected to become a hurricane before making landfall by the middle of this week, especially on Wednesday. Areas as far west as eastern portions of Texas, again just east of Houston, and as far to the east at areas like New Orleans, also Baton Rouge. Lafayette's included in this, also New Iberia, areas in the central Louisiana, and even parts of Mississippi and our stretch of the Gulf Coast will see some tropical impacts from this system, but not as strong as areas right in that center of this cone. Again, the cone could change as we see some changes over the next several hours, but this is the latest tropical alerts from the National Hurricane Center. Hurricane watch in place for many portions of the Louisiana coastline, also tropical storm watches for areas as far west as far southern portions of the Texas coastline. In addition to that, storm surge watch in place for areas as far east as just south of Beaumont, Texas, the entire Louisiana coastline, and also coastal Mississippi counties for surge as high as 6 feet for the Mississippi coastline and far eastern portions of Louisiana. The highest surge amounts likely from areas south of Lake Charles all the way to as far east as south of Houma, up to 12 feet of surge expected in some of those places in central Louisiana. So be mindful of that if you live in those areas. The wind threat will be greatest at areas south of New Iberia and Lafayette, Louisiana, right along the coastline. Well, it could have hurricane force winds, likely having hurricane force winds there, and tropical storm winds will push inland as the system makes its way inland. It will weaken over time, but much of Louisiana will see those tropical storm force winds as well as parts of southern Mississippi as well. The flood threat will be expansive as we have these bands of showers and storms over parts of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and even parts of Alabama and northwest Florida as well. There's a moderate flooding threat for the News 5 viewing area. You can see our rainfall potential as high as 5 to inches for some of our coastal spots, to 2 to 3 inches in our northern spots, but some isolated spots could have even higher amounts. We get bands of heavy showers and storms that sit over certain areas of the News 5 area. Tornado threat. A few tornadoes are possible as these storms move through, especially in those bands of showers and storms. We're expected to see the east side of the News 5 viewing area, and as those bands kick up, we could have some isolated tornadoes that do develop. So be mindful of that. Always make sure to have multiple ways to receive warnings. So our local impacts. Waves 4 to 8 feet by Thursday. We'll have a high risk for occurrence by Wednesday. Moderate to heavy rain definitely likely into Wednesday and Thursday. Those rain chances increasing to 70, 80%. And we'll have increasing wind speeds as well, especially offshore. So again, just make sure to have multiple ways to receive warnings over the next few days. Things could change as well with the cone, so just make sure to stay up to date on air and on WKRG.com. We're also watching a couple more areas in the central and eastern Atlantic. One has a medium chance of development. The other has a high chance of development over the next 7 days. As of now, not expecting any impacts from our stretch of the Gulf Coast or in the U.S. Again, we'll have all the latest updates on air and WKRG.com, and of course with some isolated tornadoes and some stronger wind gusts expected as we head into the middle part of this week. Always make sure to have multiple ways to receive warnings, including the WKRG weather app.